What's up, everybody? My name is RaisorBlade. So a couple months ago, I reviewed The Land Before Time 2, The Great Valley Adventure, and I made a promise after that review that I was going to review each and every Land Before Time sequel. Not group them all together like Bob Show did or anything. I mean review each and every one singularly, or however you say it. Pretty much, yeah, just kind of look at each and every one of them, whether they're good or bad. But for the last couple of months, I haven't been able to do that. Involving my computer breaking, trying to keep up a guest show, and Christmas. It's been hell, to say the least. It's been hell. But finally, I'm getting back on track, and we're finally going to move on ahead to the next film. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you The Land Before Time 3, The Time of the Great Giving. There you go. There you go. You can see it this time. It's a pretty box, isn't it? Get the fuck out of my face. Let's begin. So the film opens up in space for some reason. Whatever. Then we come on to Earth, and we see how life first began. Now, they took this from the original movie. And that makes you think, okay, they're taking from the original. That's got to be a good sign, right? Close. The animation still isn't as good as Don Bluth's, but kind of like the last sequel, it's okay still. It's still tolerable, direct-to-video quality. It's what you'd expect. Too bad the tone still sucks, though. Yeah, it's about as asinine as you expect it to be. It's still very childish, still aiming towards a 5-year-old level, and man, it sucks. It sucks! So we finally find that Littlefoot and his others are still having the time of their lives in the Great Valley. Everything's just super sunshine and gumdrops and butterflies, but wait, they have another problem. In the last movie, they faced with troubles about being little and stuff, and wanting to grow up, and but figuring out being a child is still pretty cool. And this time, they have problem with bullies! Oh god, Cool Cat Saves the Kids flashbacks. Don't bring me back to that.
I love being a boy!
So these three lovable original hunks of muscle are Hip, Mutt, and Nod. What kind of name is Nod? Like, seriously, you're bullying kids, but you have a name like Nod? Everybody should just go over to this guy and be like, hey, Nod! Let's see how he likes that shit. So it turns out that Hip and the others like to bully Littlefoot and his friends because they believe that they're just bigger and better, and because Littlefoot and the others are babies.
Me no baby. Me big. Yeah, big baby.
I don't understand why these guys just don't say, hey, we killed a Sharptooth in the past. Like, shit, I'd wear that crap on a sleeve. Like, I'd have it tattooed on my shoulder, be like, hey, bitch, look, see this fucker? I killed this fucker, alright? Your face will be on here too if you don't watch it.
Whoa, what's that? It's a...
Hot damn, that's one big flaming rock!
Look out!
Littlefoot. I'm in here, Grandma.
I said this once, and I'll say it again. The Great Valley fucking blows!
That wasn't a regular kind of earthshake, was it?
No, Littlefoot, it wasn't.
Perhaps it had to do with those great rocks falling from the sky.
No, you think? No, I never would have guessed that. So the next day comes, and while everyone's at the watering hole, they find out that something has happened to the water.
It stopped flowing. How can that be?
I wonder how. So Littlefoot decides to go and tell his friends about what happened, but we find out they're playing hide and seek, because as you guys remember, this movie was made for 5-year-olds.
You gotta come see.
Why don't you hatchlings go run and see? Yeah, run and see, run and see.
You know what's more tragic, than the water drying up and everybody dying of thirst? The fact that these children will never own up to the fact that they killed a Sharptooth and make these stupid bitches cry.
Oh. Yeah!
Let's just move on from that.
Because we're bigger, and bigger is smarter. Bigger is meaner, and bigger is better.
Oh no, no, please, no, not another one of these songs.
You're big, you can push all the little ones around. They're looking up while you are looking down. When you're big.
Why? Why do we need these songs? Did the original have songs in it? No. Granted, Don Bluth did make musicals later on and before this, but why? Why does this need to be a musical? Seriously. This would be like making Red Dead Redemption 2 a musical out of nowhere. Like, that's dumb. It's dumb as fuck.
To do anything you want them to. You want them to. And if they don't, you can plop them in the goop.
I'm pretty sure popping a little one in the goop would get you 15 to life in prison there, buddy. You know, unless you're white and it's considered 20 minutes of action. What the fuck am I even looking at right now? It's so bizarre.
But Hip, when you're all grown up, you won't be very big at all. We'll be much bigger.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm gonna see to it that you never grow up.
Yeah.
Never grow up, never.
So are you planning to murder the children, Hip? I know I may be overthinking it, but from what it sounds like Hip plans to actually, murder the kids. You know? We'll make sure you never grow up. Never grow up, never. Tell me that doesn't sound like a death threat.
Come on! Pound them later.
You mean murder them later. Meanwhile, the adults begin to talk about the lack of water and the fact that it's affecting the entire Great Valley.
From now on, we must drink only what we need to survive, and no more.
And nobody has the bright idea to go check the waterfall? Like, didn't you guys all survive practically a mass extinction in the first movie? You know? Where there was barely any water and food to eat anywhere, so none of you have any real survival instinct at all, do you? None. Like, how are any of you alive? How did any of you survive this? I do kind of like this, however. I do like the fact that the adults are actually trying to have a very serious conversation about how the lack of water is affecting the Great Valley and how it's destroying everything. And yeah, I do kind of like that they're arguing about it because they don't know what to do. Even though I just pointed out they can easily go investigate it. But aside from that, even though it's not on the same level of depth as the original film, it is nice to see this film is trying to be a little more mature than the last sequel. It's also kind of nice to see Sarah's dad be a racist bigot. And when I say that, I mean, well, we barely got to see that yet. We haven't seen too much of it at this point. In the first movie, we got a brief glimpse at it. In the last movie, we didn't get to see any of it at all. So in this film, however, takes the ballsy risk to actually put it in the forefront of the film. We actually see a lot of it. And I mean a lot of it.
Three horns never use water unwisely, but your herds do. You drink greedily with no concern for others.
Can you believe he's saying that?
Hell, I don't think there's one scene in this movie, at least in the first 2/3 of the movie, where we don't see Sarah's dad being a racist bigot. And personally, I do kind of like that. It kind of pays tribute to the spirit of the original film. You know, with the original film trying to, teach the message about racism and prejudice and all that kind of stuff. I do rather enjoy it. Again, it's not on the same level of depth as the original, but it's nice to see this film is trying to take a chance. Meanwhile, while the adults are having their serious conversation, we cut back to the kids who are playing tag and all that fun stuff, because remember, 5-year-olds. The sequel to one of the darkest animated films of all time, the sequel is aimed for 5-year-olds.
Let's play bullies. I'll be Hip. I'm gonna get you.
Don't you mean, I'm gonna kill you?
Not if I get you first.
Don't you mean, not unless I kill you first? I'm not letting that shit go.
Hey, hatchling, you no eat my green food.
And it's confirmed. Hip is planning to murder the children. Called it!
Me no bully either.
But I am.
I love being a boy.
So Hip and the others show up to bully Littlefoot and his friends, one of them falling into the lake, and
Not.
really? He shouts run, but decides instead to just stand there and get crushed? That's just dumb.
This is not funny. Now someone splashed me and wasted precious water.
What? You mean you didn't see what happened? You got splashed in the face. You were facing towards the lake when it happened. How did you miss how it happened?
Your little foot is guilty of wasting water.
What happened, Littlefoot?
It was an accident, Grandpa.
What? And now Littlefoot's owning up to it? Why? He didn't do anything. Why is he taking responsibility for the bully's actions? The bullies never told him to. He never felt threatened that he had to. There is no reason for him to take the responsibility at all, other than to force this little part. It's bad enough that Sarah's dad's a racist prick, but now he has even more of a reason to be a racist prick. And it's all Littlefoot's fault. Idiot.
Sarah, I'm your father, and I know what's best for you.
Remember this part, alright? It's important. So, after Littlefoot's accident, everyone begins to believe he's a bad influence, and the kids are no longer around to hang around with him. Like, it's his own dumbass fault. He brought it on himself. So, the next morning comes by, and Littlefoot begins to see the damage that the lack of water is causing to the Great Valley. The leaves are turning brown, and they're becoming both gross and just plain unedible. He also finds out that all the dinosaurs must take turns at the watering hole, in which Sarah's father is overwatching it.
There is no fair when it comes to survival.
Okay, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, this song's not that bad, honestly. It's probably one of the best songs the Land Before Time sequels have actually given us.
When life is tough, you gotta be tougher if you want to stay alive. When the trail gets rough, you gotta get rougher to help your family survive. If things around us are going bad, we all better be strong. We gotta stand tough. I used to hear my father say, stand and fight, don't run away. He made me what I am today. I'm here, and I'm tough.
So, while the adults begin to bicker and argue over how to handle the water that's left, the kids actually do the smart thing and decide to go investigate the problem themselves by going into the mysterious beyond and trying to find more water themselves. You know, like the parents should have done from the beginning.
My sniffer is very, very sniffed out.
Funny, me smell water, but me no see water.
Did you hear a splash? Uh-huh.
What? I love that they give up on the search, but then, like, it was literally right behind them. It's like, oh, I'll never find another Mountain Dew as long as oh, here's one. There's one right here. That's what happened.
There they are. And would you look at what they found for us?
Dude, seriously? Do these three have nothing better to do with their lives? They have to stalk these 5 children like weirdos and just... Well, I mean, they do want to murder them, so I guess there's that.
This is our water now.
So give it back.
Give back? But it already in my tummy.
You can have it back in a couple of hours. I'll put it right in your mouth, hip.
So I'm warning you, small fries. If you tell anybody else about this water, you'll be very, very sorry.
I know we were planning to murder you, but if you tell anybody about the water, we'll double murder you. I know that sounds weird, but just take our threat seriously. So Littlefoot and the others run off to go tell the grown-ups about the water they found, but Hip and the others try to stop them.
Where'd they go? If I knew, I wouldn't be looking for them. Yeah.
Ah, dummy.
Oh! Now you fucked up!
So after escaping the bullies, Littlefoot and his friends find that the water has been blocked off because of the flying rocks. They decide to go tell the adults about what happened, but before they do, guess what? A big forest fire happens because when there's a drought, and there's no water anywhere, and of course there has to be a thunderstorm, of course there's going to be a fire, because it always freaking happens. Always. Now, to be fair, I do kind of like what this movie's going for. Now, aside from the bullies, who is the main villain in this film? There isn't one. It's just nature. Kind of like the first movie. The first movie, there wasn't really so much a villain, more as just, it was just nature being nature. Even the Sharptooth, you can kind of argue, was just being a part of nature. Just hunting down other dinosaurs for food and nothing else. True, and that's the same thing here. There is no, oh, this guy's the villain. There are no stupid egg thieves with domestic abuse issues that are just there to fuck the kids over for no reason. No, it's just nature. So I am kind of happy that that part of the original film is in this movie. And to be fair, the situation does feel rather perilous. And honestly, pretty suspenseful. I do appreciate this. I like it.
Fire
Are you sure, Littlefoot?
No, Grandpa, we just feel like dicking with everybody. So because the fire is closing in, everyone decides it's time to evacuate immediately. However, Sarah's father decides that he wants to lead, which is a dumb idea because he's going downwind of the fire. For one, I do like that this movie is trying to actually teach some serious stuff to kids. Like, for one, going downwind to a fire is actually a really dumb idea. And it is. He goes that way anyway and forces his own daughter to follow him anyway. Again, remember this is important. So Grandpa Longneck decides to go after Sarah and Sarah's father in order to keep them from getting into trouble. Meanwhile, Grandma Longneck and Littlefoot have to lead the herd out of the Great Valley. Now, what I do like about this is that they're actually using some common sense around here. For one, it's letting the kids lead in a situation that makes sense for them to lead.
Grandma, what's wrong?
The smoke is too thick. You'll have to lead.
Follow me, everyone. Littlefoot, the grown-ups cannot see good. They cannot. They can hear. Follow my voice and stay close to the one in front of you.
And dead. Again.
Are you sure this is right, Daddy?
Of course I'm sure.
Geez, Sarah, took you long enough to react to that, didn't it? But it's okay. Despite the fact that they're surrounded by a whole wall of fire, Grandpa Longneck comes in and saves the day by creating a tree bridge, which should ignite like that, given how fast the fire's been spreading for this whole movie. You know, guys, I think it's our civil duty to remember this moment. Because in the future, Sarah's father is still going to be a prick. He's still going to be a racist bastard, especially to the Longnecks, despite this. So let's remember this moment. I mean, he's fine for the rest of this movie, but in future movies, he will be that racist bastard again. So whenever he is that, I'm going to bring this fucking moment up.
Our group got here safely, thanks to Littlefoot.
We are without water, and now we are without a home. All is lost.
You still have Sarah, and you are still here, able to care for her.
Well, you are right. Thank you, Longneck.
Remember this, you racist prick. So Littlefoot and his friends tell the grown-ups about where the water is, and all the grown-ups begin to argue and bicker again about what to do next. Should they go after the water, or should they not take the risk because there might be sharp teeth involved?
Stop! You're acting like children.
Huh. We no act like that.
However, while the parents are arguing, Littlefoot and the others notice that Hip and his friends are going to go get the water themselves by themselves. Realizing they may get themselves hurt, Littlefoot opts to go help them out. Why? Because, you know what? Let's just have a song play out because Land Before Time hasn't had enough songs and it has it. Now, to the song's credit, it's tolerable to say the least, and I do agree with the song's message. If you see my Cool Cat Saves the Kids review, you watched the end of it, you saw what I had to say about bullies, then it's exactly what I said.
But they're just kids in trouble. They need someone to trust. If we can bring them home, show them they're not alone.
I do agree with the song's message. For that, I will give the movie points. At least the song's not totally pointless in a way. I mean, you can kind of just say it. You don't need to sing it, but I mean, I won't hate it if it's helpful. So Hip and his friends begin to explore the mysterious beyond, and they find, of course, a puddle of water. Hip jumps right in, and they find out it's not water, it's just tar that looks like water. Wait, what? Do the animators not know what tar looks like? That's clearly water! Just paint that shit black, it's not hard.
He's stuck in a tar pit! Stop moving, Hip, it'll only make you sink faster!
That's Quicksand, you ditz! So after Littlefoot and his friends show up, everyone works together to get Hip out of the tar pit. Oh, okay, now it's black. Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm starting to think that Sarah's dad isn't the only thing that's racist in this movie. Racist.
I don't need anybody's help. Not now, not ever. Ha! Ah! Help.
Hip! Here we are chasing after you when we should be finding a way to free the water. I thought I told you to stay where it was safe. Don't look at me that way. I'm your father and I know what's best for you.
This has got to be the strongest part of the movie, in my opinion. It really is. Now, some of you might argue this is a bit forced and rushed, and maybe you're right. Maybe they could have spread this out throughout the movie a bit more. However, I'm going to buy this shit a lot more than I will from Cool Cat Saves the Kids. You know, where a bully's just, oh, he's just a bully. That's just it. No explanation, no depth. He's just a bully because we got to have a bully in the movie. No. With this movie, it actually gets where bullies come from. It can come from a bad background. It can come from something as simple as a father who is kind of bullying his son himself. It makes perfect sense. At least it takes the time to try and show kids bullies aren't just evil, they have a source. And I'll give this movie props where prop is due. Along with that, but I also think the arc between Sarah's father was also pretty well done. You know, with him eventually learning throughout the film that his way isn't always the right way. We start at the beginning with him being this angry, prejudiced father who thinks that being strict and overbearing and controlling is the proper way to do it. Of course, we see throughout the movie that this has a negative impact on Sarah.
Except for my dad. He's always mad. But I'm sure it's just because he's so worried about the water.
Notice earlier that she was beginning to fidget whenever her father was brought up. That's important. Over time, however, we find that his controlling, arrogant way wasn't always the best way. In fact, it almost got Sarah killed. Because of this, Sarah's father realizes that perhaps it's not the best way to raise his daughter. And now that he's seeing another parent do the same to his child, he realizes that, yeah, he's wrong. So I'll give the movie props where props is due. This film took a very adult subject like abusive parenting, emotional abusive parenting, which is a lot tougher than physical, and actually did it right, in my opinion. I will give this film props for that. This immediately makes it so much better than the last sequel. I guarantee it.
I know now that we can't live together that way, with such anger between us. Our kids found water because they worked together. Now we must work together too.
At last, we all agree.
Well, looks like the movie's finally wrapping up. We're gonna have a happily ever... or not. Actually, to the film's credit, this climax is actually pretty cool as a Land Before Time sequel goes. How so? Well, what did we have in the first movie that was pretty cool? Epic fight scenes. I mean, like, big fight scenes. Like, remember when the Sharptooth fought Littlefoot's mom? Was that not the coolest thing ever? We didn't just have them biting at each other, no. We saw rocks getting demolished, an earthquake, the land literally splitting open. It's enormous. It just goes all out. The second movie had silly shenanigans. That was fun, I guess. The third movie actually tries to have a fight scene, at the least. Now, granted, it's not going to be on the same scale as the original film, what with the lower budget and everything, and the fact that, while the original was aiming towards all audiences, this film is definitely more made for kids, so of course you're not going to see the scary stuff that was in the original film. They're going to keep it G-rated. But that doesn't mean they still can't have some fun with it. We get to see long necks slamming their tails and launching raptors everywhere. You get to see the raptors be thrown into cliffsides. You get to see them be crushed by rocks, a giant rock slide. The point is, the film is trying to actually have a fight scene this time around, and it's neat, to say the least. So after knocking a rock out of place, Littlefoot finds that he's accidentally unlodged all the water that was blocked because of the flying rocks. The river sweeps away the Sharptooth and returns to the Great Valley, putting out all the fire. However, it doesn't fix everything. Yeah, there's no magical thing that just fixes everything. No, half the home is burnt up, the food's gone. Yeah, it's pretty bittersweet, to say the least. And everyone's okay with that. I mean, it sucks, but instead of just giving up and trying to find a new home, they decide to work with what they've got. They decide, instead of just giving in despair, to work together and try to salvage what they have left, waiting for time to heal everything as it normally will. Along with that, but the bullies realize that maybe being friendly is the best way to go around.
You feeling okay, Hip? You're talking about sharing.
Yeah, sharing.
I know that. Not sharing is for scaredy eggs, right?
Right.
The bullies and Littlefoot become friends. Good. The fathers learn a powerful lesson about how to be real parents. Good. And of course, the film states the message that there are no quick fixes to life. Sometimes things just take time. And that's the way it needs to be. The Land Before Time 3. The Time of the Great Giving. What are my final thoughts on it? Well, it's certainly better than the original, I'll give it that much. But when it comes down to it, I think this sequel is the one that comes closest to the spirit of the original. I mean, think about it. Sure, it has its issues, like, it's still a Land Before Time sequel, it still has songs, the budget's still pretty short, so of course the animation's still going to be just average at best. And of course, there's still going to be a lot of kiddie filler, what with this film being G-rated, being aimed for 5-year-olds and stuff like that. But when this film tries, it does try. It tries to be complex, it tries to teach adult messages, like showing where bullies actually come from, and showing that, and in some ways, showing stuff like racism and abusive parenting. I'll give the movie the credit for that. That's pretty adult, and pretty risky to say the least. I also gotta give credit to the film's ending. I mean, the fact is, the film doesn't have a super happy ending. It shows a pretty bittersweet ending to say the least, and I think that sends a really good message to kids at home. So if I were to recommend any of the sequels, it would have to be Land Before Time 3. I mean, granted, I always just say, watch the original and stick with that one, because that one's amazing. But if you really wanted to watch a sequel, or show your child a Land Before Time sequel, then I say Land Before Time 3 is the one you should probably pick up. Hot damn, that's one big flaming rock! Take cover! Shit. Oh my god. I did not mean for that to happen. At all. Oh shit, I think... I mean... Oh Christ. Shit. Oh. That wasn't supposed to happen. I was just supposed to jump out of my chair, and everything came crashing down with me. Oh fuck, I'm leaving that in. That was funny. That was hilarious.